The Senate works to pass a COVID-19 relief bill. Memorials in OKC commemorate coronavirus victims, and President Biden's Attorney General pick will go before the Senate. This is OU Nightly.
Good evening. Thank you for watching. I'm Abbi Bennett.
And I'm Kaitlyn Deggs. The Senate is on the clock to pass President Joe Biden's COVID relief bill by the end of the week. Republicans and progressives are unhappy with portions of the legislation, but Democrats are working to shore up votes before key benefits expire.
Millions of Americans rely on unemployment benefits to pay for food and rent.
I am a real person who had a real job, and now I need help so that I can provide for my children.
That money will start running out in less than 2 weeks if Congress doesn't act fast. Now, the pressure is on the Senate to pass President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief plan.
We go big on unemployment benefits, on opening schools and putting shots in people's arms and money in people's pockets.
But there are bumps in the road. The Senate parliamentarian ruled a proposal in the House measure to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour must be removed in the Senate version. Progressives pushing back.
It is essential that we deliver on this promise.
Senate Democrats pressing forward without the minimum wage increase and without Republican support.
Frankly, we're moving ahead with a bill that probably will get no Republican votes in the Senate.
Republicans have not been involved. I listened to Press Secretary Jen Psaki speaking about how we've been listened to. I started laughing. That is such a joke. They made a conscious decision not to include us.
Republicans say the bill is too big and not focused on COVID relief.
Do we need to pay for bridges? Does that have anything to do with COVID? Do we need to pay for tunnels for Silicon Valley?
Democrats must be fully united if they want to pass this package by the end of the week and get a bill on the president's desk before pandemic benefits expire. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Once the bill passes the Senate, it will go back to the House for another vote. Democrats in both chambers have one goal: to get COVID relief signed into law by March 14th.
And thanks to a successful vaccine plan, the number of COVID cases is slowing in Oklahoma. The Oklahoma State Department of Health reports 380 new COVID-19 cases today. That brings the total number of active cases in the state right now close to 13,000. The state is also reporting 50 new coronavirus deaths today. This brings Oklahoma's total deaths from COVID-19 to 4,478.
COVID-19 continues to take its toll, but a group is working together to make sure victims and their families are remembered. The Floral Hearts Project places floral arrangements in public places. There are two in Oklahoma City, one at Oklahoma City's Myriad Botanical Gardens and the other in Scissortail Park. The idea is to encourage participation in a national day to remember the lives lost to COVID-19. Organizers at Scissortail Park say more than 50 mayors across the nation have already signed the resolution to make today a day of remembrance. The floral memorial arrangements at the Myriad Botanical Gardens and Scissortail Park will remain in place until Friday. It's the start of a new month and hopefully the start of warmer weather.
I'm definitely looking forward to getting outside more in some nicer weather. Hannah Gard joins us with a first look at the forecast for this week. Hannah?
Guys, it's been absolutely beautiful, and it's actually the start of meteorological spring today, and it certainly looks like it out there. We're seeing just a couple of high clouds, but it's been very warm and very sunny. Our current temperatures, we're pretty much in the 50s everywhere. It's 56 right now in Norman, so it's feeling pretty nice out there, and you can see there's just a couple of clouds in the sky. That's what we were seeing over Oklahoma City, but most of us are feeling very warm and pretty clear. It's been a lovely day out there just to start off our meteorological spring. And coming up after later on in the newscast, I'll have more on what we're looking at this week and when will it rain again, because it is springtime in Oklahoma, so we will see some more rainfall coming up in the show.
Thank you, Hannah. An OU student-led group has found a way to make an impact in the community. Nightly's Nirali Jaiswal has that story.
A group of OU Health and Sciences students have partnered with the Good Shepherd Clinic.
Thank you, Nirali.
Kolby Terrell has this week's headlines from around the world. Kolby?
Thank you, Kaitlyn. Last Monday, Merrick Garland attended his first appointee hearing for Attorney General. And now his confirmation has passed through the committee in a 15-7 vote and will go before the full Senate. Under the Obama administration, Merrick Garland was nominated for the Supreme Court, but the nomination was blocked by Senate Republicans. And now, Biden's nominee has the chance to lead the Justice Department in a different way. A school shooting at a junior high in Pine Bluff, Arkansas leaves one student in critical condition. The suspect is a student at the same school and is now in police custody. Police say they found him hiding behind a house. He's being held in the Juvenile Justice Center in Pine Bluff, and formal charges have not been filed. Police have not released the names of either student yet and are still working to determine a motive. And finally, former President Donald Trump spoke at the Conservative Political Action Conference this weekend. In his speech, Trump claims that Biden is the most corrupt president in history and reiterates that he is just getting started. The hour-and-a-half-long speech includes many references to his loss in the last election, saying that he won the election twice. He also addressed rumors that he might start a new political party.
You know, they kept saying, he's going to start a brand new party. We have the Republican Party. It's going to unite and be stronger than ever before. I am not starting a new party. That was fake news.
And Trump even teased the crowd about running again in 2024, saying a Republican president will make a triumphant return to the White House. That's the latest from the News Center. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Kolby.
I'm really interested to see what the future will look like for President Trump, especially because of the video on Twitter that he posted saying that, who's going to run, making it kind of, seem like there could be a possibility of him running again in 2024.
Yeah,
so
that's definitely something we're going to look forward to. Now,
For
coming
sure.
up next, Texans are still feeling the aftermath of the winter storm 2 weeks ago. Find out how the state of Texas is taking action against companies charging higher energy bills to consumers.
Plus, a South Carolina town relies on boats bringing food and supplies after it sees another round of massive flooding. Find out more when we return.
From the ice storm 2 weeks ago, Texans are still dealing with the consequences. Emma Sears has details on that story and more in today's Earth Report.
Nearly 3.3 million Texans lost power 2 weeks ago when the winter storm tragically struck. Now, the Lone Star State is suing a power company for price gouging their customers. The state's Attorney General lawsuit says Griddy Energy promised Texans cheap, wholesale prices that would beat traditional energy costs. After a winter storm crippled the state's energy grid last month, Griddy increased costs to customers. Many customers saw their bills rise hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Griddy claims they have been transparent this entire time. Residents of Rosewood neighborhood in South Carolina are once again dealing with flooding. After several feet of rain hit the area late last week, homeowners were trapped in their houses waiting for volunteers to drive by on boats to bring them essential items such as food and water. Rosewood is along the Intracoastal Waterway in South Carolina, and in recent years, the flooding there has become even more common. One of the most active volcanoes in the world has erupted again. Italy's Mount Etna erupted late Wednesday night, marking its 6th eruption in 8 days. The Etna Observatory Lab says lava was flowing towards a nature preserve, but no damages or injuries were recorded. Europe's most active volcano has been belching smoke and lava over the countryside for more than 2 weeks now. And as many families in Texas are still struggling after last month's winter storm, the Patrick Mahomes Foundation has donated nearly 30,000 meals to food banks throughout the state. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Emma. I'm really glad to see that Patrick Mahomes is giving back, especially in these times of great need and after, everything that's been going on.
I've always been a big fan of Patrick Mahomes, and this really just hyped him up even more.
No, for sure. Coming up next, OU celebrates the 25th anniversary of its largest student-run philanthropy event. Find out more about how this year's dance marathon will be different from the past.
And Hannah, can we still expect this week to be warmer weather?
Yeah, guys, we're looking at springtime weather the rest of this week. It's going to be absolutely beautiful, and I'll have more on that coming up after the break. We're looking at a beautiful day outside right now. If you take a look at our 4-box cams, sunshine everywhere, just a couple of high clouds in OKC over the skyline there, but it's been a beautiful day and our temperatures are also reflecting that. Here in Norman, we're in the mid-50s. We've seen our temperatures almost touch 60s today, but it's cooling off just a little bit. Those winds are coming from the north, so it's feeling a bit chilly. If you're outside, you'll probably feel that. And across the board, we're in the 50s. We're seeing 57 in Tulsa, 54 in OKC, 54 up in the Panhandle. It's been a beautiful day. Our live radar shows we just have a couple of scattered showers down in the far southwestern portion of the state. They haven't really made their way into central Oklahoma, and those have just been lingering around all day. We'll see those move out as we go throughout this evening, but today is the first day of meteorological spring. We still have a little ways to wait for official spring to start, but this is when the meteorology folks know that our weather is going to start to reflect springtime, and it has been true this week. We're seeing a warm up. This is the Climate Prediction Center 8 to 14 day outlook. You're seeing we'll see warmer temperatures in our portion of the United States here to the eastern sides. We're seeing warmer temperatures across the board. And if we take a look at our 10-day air mass graphic here, you can see that we're staying pretty warm. Most of these low pressure systems are staying off of the west coast before they move in, and we'll see some rainfall Friday morning. You can see where that low pressure is, and it'll kind of move out, giving us a pretty moderate weather pattern after that. We're looking at 60s for our temperatures into the weekend and the beginning of the work week. Now, our regional forecast shows that for us. We're staying pretty warm. We're mostly in the 50s and 60s. You can see 67 on Wednesday. But here's where that rainfall moves in. You can see that low right there. That'll give us our next chance for rain Friday morning before that moves out for us. Our lows tonight, we're in the 30s. It's going to be pretty chilly out there, but tomorrow looking like a beautiful day. We're warming up quickly into the high 50s again, very similar to today. And that's going to be the case across the board. We're seeing 60s up in the Panhandle. It'll be pretty warm there. Our 7-day forecast here, you can see warming up into Thursday, almost hitting the 70s. That's going to be amazing for us. Friday, you can see that chance for rainfall. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, all looking like springtime. Our temperatures are in the 60s, so that spring weather really has rolled around for us, and it's going to feel pretty nice out there, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Hannah. And the OU community is giving kids another chance to dance. OU's largest student-led philanthropy event, the Dance Marathon, is taking the stage this weekend. For the 25th anniversary, the OU community will spend 12 hours dancing while raising funds and awareness for the Children's Hospital in Oklahoma City. The event is smaller in person due to COVID restrictions, and there's also a way to participate virtually.
Being able to stay put is one of the biggest benefits that we're able to offer when we fundraise and are able to get, like I said, the best doctors here, the best research here, so that they don't have to worry about that extra strain. You know, one parent can go to the hospital with them while the other can continue their job that day, and just overall keep the whole family unit together during such a difficult time.
The day of event will take place on Saturday, March 6th, and the closing ceremony will be on the South Oval Sunday at noon.
Both men's and women's basketball team were in action over the weekend, one getting an upset win and the other taking a devastating overtime loss. Alyse Jones has more on this weekend's games and sports.
That's right. Women's basketball had a historical win in Austin, and the men's basketball team couldn't stop Cade Cunningham on Saturday. They're traveling to Stillwater tonight for Bedlam 2.0. Stick around, sports is next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Alyse Jones. It was a busy weekend in sports, so let's jump into it. The Pokes took Bedlam bragging rights back to Stillwater after upsetting the Sooners 94-90 in overtime. Oklahoma State's Cade Cunningham was unstoppable, putting up a career-high 40 points. For the Sooners, Austin Reeves and Davion Harmon had a combined 45 points with 10 rebounds and 10 assists. The Sooners travel to Stillwater tonight as they seek revenge in Bedlam 2.0. But the only way to redeem themselves on the road is by stopping Cade Cunningham and improving their shots. Here's what head coach Lon Kruger had to say about how Oklahoma can improve for tonight.
Offensively, I thought we got into the paint several times and didn't make good decisions in terms of shot or pass. We got to get the ball moving a little bit more, get out of our hands a little bit more quickly, cut sharper, set better screens, all those basic things that you have to do to get better shots, because we really haven't shot it very well for a while.
Keeping it on the court, OU women's basketball did not disappoint this weekend. In fact, they took home a major upset victory. In a Red River rivalry rematch, Oklahoma defeated Texas on the road in overtime 68-63. It was their first road win versus the Longhorns since 2013. Junior guard Taylor Robertson earned the title of Big 12 Player of the Week after her 14 points and going 6 for 6 from the free throw line, which makes her 43-43 as she hasn't missed a free throw all year. The Sooners are back in action tonight at the LNC as they take on Texas Tech. They'll be looking to keep up their momentum and earn their third straight win. Tip-off is at 6 p.m. And switching things from the court to the field, OU baseball had a busy weekend playing in the Round Rock Classic. The Sooners wrapped up the weekend with a 9-3 victory over Baylor. Pitching trio Jake Bennett, Carson Carter, and Jason Ruffcorn allowed no earned runs in the win. The number 2 ranked softball team threw a perfect game on Sunday to run-wool Portland State 8-0. This was Oklahoma's first perfect game since 2019 and was over in a quick 5 innings. On top of the pitcher's perfect match, the hitters had 3 home runs and 10 hits. And 4 Oklahoma men gymnasts made the U.S. national team roster. Former Sooners Alan Bauer, Yul Moldauer, and Yankee Suzuki reclaimed their spots, while junior Vitaly Guimaraes made his first appearance on the roster. The 4 Sooners on the team ties for the most of any university on the U.S. squad. And moving to a national landscape, J.J. Watt broke the news on Twitter this morning that he's headed to the Arizona Cardinals. After 10 seasons with the Texans, 5 Pro Bowl selections, 5 first-team All-Pro appearances, and 101 career sacks, Watt agreed to a 2-year contract with the Cardinals for a reported $31 million. NBA history was made Friday night, but not the way most people would expect. The OKC Thunder took on the Atlanta Hawks at home, and there you can see the orange and red jerseys make it hard to tell who's who. But at halftime, someone got a phone call, and next thing you know, the Thunder come out in their home white jerseys for the second half. And while we're talking about the Hawks, they just fired their head coach Lloyd Pierce after 3 seasons and going 14-20 leading into the All-Star break. This weekend sports will stay busy, so be sure to tune in to Sooner Sports Pad tonight on Fox Sports Southwest to hear more sports news. Abby, Kaitlyn, back to you.
Thank you, Alyse.
A decades-old bomb was found hiding in a small English city. Find out more straight ahead on OU Nightly.
I'm Tingelstad at the OU Nightly Update Desk. The Oklahoma State Department of Health held a news conference today to give updates on COVID-19 vaccine distribution. Oklahoma is expected to receive 31,500 doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine during the first shipment. The first shipment is supposed to arrive later this week, and the first doses will be administered shortly after. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Now check this out. A World War II era bomb detonated in England this morning. The bomb was found Friday morning at a construction site near the University of Exeter.
Authorities evacuated more than 2,000 homes before today's explosion. After the detonation was a success, residents are now slowly moving back into their properties.
And before we close, Hannah, what is the last look at our forecast?
Well, if it's felt like springtime, that's because it now officially is. Today was the first day of meteorological spring, and our temperatures are really reflecting that. We're going to take a look at our 7-day here. You can see we're climbing into the high 60s by Thursday, and those 60s aren't really going anywhere. We will see this cold front briefly dropping us into the 50s, but after that, we're going to see a warmer weather pattern just in time for springtime. So Kaitlyn and Abby, I'm excited about it. I don't know about y'all.
Thanks for tuning in to OU Nightly. We're live every weekday from Gaylord Hall at the campus of the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night, live at 4:30. Good night.